Beertubers, welcome back to another episode of Maxwell Starr's Beer Review. Before I get started, I want to give a great big huge shout out and congratulations to BeerGogglesReviews. Congratulations Terry K on the birth of your new child. Can't say I'm happy enough for you. In a recent video that Terry K, BeerGogglesReviews, posted on his YouTube channel, he said people go out and get yourself a barley wine and have a drink with him. Well, it just so happens that I had a barley wine sitting in my fridge, ready to be drank for a review. So I'm going to take a look at Garrison's Ol'Fog Burner, 11.5% barley wine from Halifax, Nova Scotia. It says here, our biggest beer, Ol'Fog Burner barley wine is an exceptionally mellow and complex ale. Its tawny copper color, caramel, and spicy flavors transcend boundaries and expectations, suitable for cellaring. Cheers! Well, this was it batch numbers 2045, 2046, and 2047. Bottled on March 2nd, 2010. So I didn't really cellar it for that long, but it is about 4 or 5 months old now. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I just wanted, before I get started, I want to say, Beer Goggles, you've been one of my biggest inspirations for this channel. I love British style beers. I love watching your reviews, and your reviews have been an inspiration for the way I do some of the stuff on my channel. Like, you know what? Run times be damned. I don't care how long they go for. I just want to make sure that the star of the show is the beer and have a great time. It's just, I love the way your channel works. Can't say I'm happy enough for you. Anyway, let's pop the top off of this one. Just got a little bit of like a foil cap on it. Kind of a faux foil kind of thing going on here. Now, I haven't really had that many barley wines before. We don't really get these around here. I have had a couple, but, oh yeah, BB Barfly, another one of Terry K, Beer Goggles' favorite things. So yeah, if people that don't know, Garrison Brewing is a brewery in Halifax, Nova Scotia. They've been brewing beers. Actually, they just celebrated their 15th anniversary with their big 15th anniversary hops, malt, and what was it? Hops, mango, and ginger beer, which is absolutely delicious. So I've never had a chance to have their Ol'Fog Burner, and boy, am I excited. Ice Almighty actually brought this one back for me from Halifax, I believe, or it might have been his boss. Not sure, but anyway, let's pour it out here. This one's gonna be huge. Now this one's warmed up, and the condensation on the outside of the bottle is almost gone, just the way that Terry K likes them. Get over barflies. Hey, even got the barflies going. Woo, that smells big and malty. And look how dark that is. That's nice and ruby, and there's some sediment in there as well. Big snowflake, looks almost like a fly. It's not, but a little bit of carbonation coming up in there, but hardly any. It looks pretty clear and see-through, but to be totally honest, it looks almost like it's been filtered, but there is definitely some stuff going on in there. You know what? They probably added yeast and didn't add any extra sugar, or they probably filtered it all out and then added a little bit of sugar and yeast to bottle condition it. So for the most part, it's clear. I'm willing to bet that's what they did. That's why it can be cellared, not just 11.5%. There's a little bit more to high alcohol than that in a cellarable beer. So looking at that, it's got a nice, big, thick, creamy head. I didn't get all the beer in the glass, obviously. It looks like the head's dying down just a little bit, but it's nice, creamy consistency with some sponge toffee kind of looking head there. And it also is off-white. It looks a little browner than beige is. It's a little bit darker than beige. Boy, that looks nice, though. Out of here. Ooh, let's give that a sniff. Like I said, big and malty. There's a lot of malt coming off of this one. It's almost like molasses cookies. Demerara sugar. Very barley winey. It's not overly complex, though. Big part of that is probably the head. I'm sorry, that's one of your pet peeves, right, Terry? It smells really nice. It smells almost like you're about to drink some kind of really tasteful cake or cookie. Really sweet. Let's give it a sip. earthy, bitter aftertaste in the back, but not a huge one. The earthiness almost has like a little bit like a metallic twang to it, but that's just because it's so earthy. And almost seemingly mouth-filling and resting on top of all that is this big, ginormous caramel toffee malt presence, demerara sugar. Really, really nice. And man, the fruit flies are really swarming right now. They smell this thing. And for 11.5%, you can hardly taste the burn. There's a little bit of a warming burn in the very back, but there's very little alcohol presence in it whatsoever. This is nice. It does come off tasting maybe a little rough, but it's not bad. And it's not light by any means. It's definitely thick and mouth-filling. But I could probably knock one of these back. I wouldn't knock too many of them back, but it's really not bad. Anyway, I'm going to sit down with this one for a bit. I'll be right back with some thoughts. And I'm back with Garrison's Ol'Fog Burner Barley Wine. So, what did I think about this huge-ass beer? Holy crap, that's big. 11.5%, big and malty. Definitely a beer that's going to hit you like a ton of bricks, and it's hitting me right now. Wow. Definitely a delicious beer. While I was drinking it, I noticed it along with the earthy hop bite that it's got in the very back. It's got this nice, almost like espresso kind of coffee, like this burnt malt kind of taste in the very back. It's got a nice roasted malt flavor in the back end. And other than that, it's got a lot of flavors of like caramel and demerara sugar. It's not an incredibly complex barley wine. Perhaps not as complex and not as smooth as like the Anchor Old Foghorn that I had a while ago. I may not have uploaded that review by this point, but whatever. It's a little harsh as far as how the flavors go, but I would imagine if I were to have left this age for a while, like it says cellarable right on the side, if I had let this cellar a while, it might have been a bit smoother. But it's definitely not bad. It's nice and creamy, and it's definitely smooth. And really, while it's as big and malty as it is, it's not that heavy. And it is heavy, but it's not that heavy. And you can't taste the alcohol, but you can certainly feel it, and I do now. Holy cow. Definitely one that's certainly recommended. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I would give it higher marks, but it's maybe some aging would take the bite right off of that. Like it's almost like rough, like sandpaper in a way. Like it's in a sense in the malts. It's just, I think some aging would really do this one well. Speaking of aging, there's also like a barrel-aged version of this in Glenora whiskey barrels from Cape Breton. I've got a bottle of that. I'm going to review that one another time. But this one here, definitely worth seeking out. They brew it once a year, I think, over at the Garrison Brewery in Halifax. Definitely check it out if you're down in the area in, say, the spring or early summer. They might have some of this, or check Premier Wines and Spirits, because they may have some there as well. Definitely a good beer and worth checking out and worth hunting down. And for the most of all, cheers go out to Beer Goggles Reviews. Can't be happy enough for you, dude. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's Beer Review. Cheers.